Hey guys, and welcome to the next episode of Unstoppable Equestrian. I'm Danielle Pools from Dressage Plus, and today, as I record this right now, it's Sunday afternoon and I've just had a pretty big weekend, and I just wanted to kind of check in and share it with you and let you know what went on and the highs and the lows. So I started Saturday. I had another Feel the Fear and Ride Anyway workshop over at Wonga Park at Parkview Equestrian Centre, and that went really well. I had heaps of fun. Hopefully the riders did as well and got lots out of it. We had a big group of 13 riders and they just all worked so well together, and it was just a really great setting, and everyone shared and everyone was so supportive and helpful to everyone. So that was a really great day yesterday. Looking forward to doing the next one. And today I had just a small unofficial competition at my club on Rondo, and it was our first Pre-St George together, so Rondo's first Pre-St George test, and it was a really great way to start at an unofficial, really relaxed setting, small environment, and just it's like a freshman's run competition. So you ride your test and then the judge comes out and talks to you and gives you some feedback, and then you get to ride through some movements that you struggled with and wanted to practice. So that was really great. But my day was, I suppose, rewarding in a sense, and I've come away feeling proud of myself, but also feeling like I really let myself slip into some bad mindset patterns and worries leading up to the competition. I wasn't even really aware of it until this morning. I hadn't really prepared for this weekend. I prepared for the workshop and forgotten about the competition, I guess. And even though it's just a little unofficial one, I always put a lot of pressure on myself, so that's one of my weaknesses and something I'm always working on, lifting the pressure off. And I hadn't competed since Borneo CDI back at when was that, start or mid-June, so I don't even think she's been out off the property since then. I can't remember. Anyway, I hadn't done, usually leading up to a competition I'll do heaps and heaps of meditation and visualization each day, really kind of feeling that relaxation through my body, feeling myself in the test and riding and sitting and giving the aids, and really having a good feeling with Rondo, and just preparing. So a lot of mental preparation for competition and test riding days, and I hadn't hardly done anything. I shouldn't admit that, but I pretty much had done nothing besides like go through the test a few times here on the arena, and not even enough. I didn't go through the Pre-St George test at all enough, which I found out today, just how quickly the movements come up. The canter work is like bang, 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 and you don't get the first movement in the canter is straight into a canter zigzag. And in the advanced test, or pretty much all tests really, there's a lot of, the first movement is a medium canter, so it allows me to get kind of Rondo out in front, make sure she's traveling, and that really helps me. Whereas the medium or extended canter isn't until the actual last movement. So that was great to ride through it today, and get the judge really helped me kind of point out that I really need to be using my corners a lot better and saving time, making extra time, so I can actually kind of send her forward, sit her back, like use the arena better, so that I'm not so rushed and the movements aren't lacking in quality due to lack of preparation. But anyway, because of my lack of preparation in my mindset as well, I really found that I was feeling a little uneasy leading into the morning of and at the competition, and just had all these negative thoughts, like of old patterns, more so not even on Rondo, just on Pretzel and Past Horse, of tension and joggingness, and just that kind of yucky feeling that I was kept visualizing without realizing. Anyway, Rondo was like normal at a competition when I got there, but there was actually an old paddock mate of hers at the competition, and we were kind of curious to know if they still recognized each other, so I took her over to go see Sophie, and I think they did recognize each other. And anyway, they loved having a bit of a scratch and a meet and greet. But then when I took her back to saddle up, that was just before I was saddling up, they then ended up calling out to each other, and Rondo got a little unsettled. So that kind of stirred me up a little bit. So then I had to really, and this is the part where up until then I was feeling pretty not happy with myself, and then I actually became, I suppose, a little bit more prouder of myself that I actually took action on it, instead of what would used to happen years ago, that the horse was like jittery or not standing still or being a bit funny when I first get on. I would then just become a passenger and stop thinking, stop riding. But I actually took over today, and so I was really happy that I did that, and so that I actually got to have some fun in my riding as well, and Rondo started to behave. So I got on her, and she was jittery in the walk, which she can be sometimes. Her walk's not best pace. Had to ride her past Sophie, so that was fun. And I just really had to, or else it would have not been a good ride. Had to get in the zone. I put a little bubble around me. I looked at her neck, and that's all I looked at. Got in the warm up and walked around for a while, and then got her into the trot. And as soon as I got her into the trot, I knew that I was going to be okay in my mind, because I could just relax in the trot work. I can relax a little bit more, and I just had to keep saying. And then on the warm up, her and Sophie called out a few times back and forth, which is something that can stir me up a little bit. But I really had to set myself in the saddle, and my mindset, my thought process was just, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this, I've got this. And I had to keep saying this, I can do this, I've got this, I own you. And it allowed me to kind of assert myself on her, and she reacted in such a positive way. Rondo usually doesn't do too much at all, I'm lucky. She just gets a little hot and prancy at times, which is actually something that I don't like the most when I'm on a horse, but it gives me practice in doing these things, going back to what I've learned and what I study and what I preach. Mindset, body language, relax my bottom muscles, I've got this, focus in, like don't let my eyes look up to see what's going on around me, just stay focused. So it ended up being a positive ride, and I kept her nice and calm and relaxed. So that was good, and I even got to walk back nicely. Rondo wanted to, if I was in a bad mind set, like frame, I think Rondo would have maybe exploded in past rides, but I was happy with how I dealt with myself and dealt with the situation. So a positive, although I did have to really push hard and dig deep to get there. It could have gone the other way. I do know my personality, and I can sometimes go the other way. So I was, just nice to have a step forward. So I just wanted to share with you at all and let you know that we can all have bad days, and lack of preparation is really my downfall for today. I've really got to prepare more, just know my personality, and great if people don't have to prepare, that's great. Maybe one day I won't, but for me, I know that's something I have to always be working on. So just wanted to share. It's very, very cold right now. I'm shaking so much I can't keep the camera still. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you next week. Bye.